4, 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to episode 139 of the KBMOD podcast. The number keeps going up. It's crazy how numbers work and stuff.
That's really bizarre.
It is bizarre.
I never noticed that.
KBMOD taught me how to count. I'm learning how to count with all of these podcasts. Keep going.
Keep going.
You just want to see what number's next?
What might it be?
No spoilers.
I won't spoil it. It's fun. You're going to like it, though. It's pretty great.
I can't even fathom your reaction when we get to the mythical 200. Because you'll just be like, I didn't know numbers went that high. But I will tell you right now, it's a little bit of a spoiler, but they do. They do go that
number
high.
Real?
That's fucked up.
Yes, I'll do the date. God, chat. May 4th, 2014. Are you happy, Brandon? Are you happy?
I'm not.
I have with me AllShamNoWow.
Hi.
He's here. He has made an appearance.
Yep, I'm here.
As you can tell, he's ecstatic to be here.
Now insert 25 cents in order for me to talk more. I am microtransactions.
Are you on that Plants vs. Zombies game? Are you that game?
No.
We have Blah with us as well.
Oh.
He's holding.
We all sound so somber today.
We do. It's like, who died?
It's a small podcast. It's usually what, like 6 dudes? It's only 4 right now.
It's a lot of dudes, man.
We're sad because we're
like
it.
Hex is here as well.
Yes, I am.
Doing Hex
That's why
stuff.
I am sad.
All kinds of Hex things.
That is why Blah is sad.
Wow, dude.
apparently.
Have you moved out of my state yet? Could you hurry up and get the fuck out?
Well, no, I must give proper credit. APL told me yesterday that he would not be here. He would not be at his house. John is in Memphis on some business. And Brandon is at his parents' house. He could have been on, but I know the mic that he has there, and we want no part of that. And Nick Fenton was drunk as of 2 hours ago. So he was drunk at 5 p.m. on a Sunday.
Sunday.
That's a solid
He
start to your
also
week
got
right
his
there.
cat drunk, I assume.
Yes.
Probably.
Yes.
Hammond got hammered for the first time.
Let me read you the email that Nick Fenton sent me.
He sent an email?
Oh
Yeah,
my god,
yeah.
that's amazing.
I shared the
I would have
document
expected
with him.
just some poorly worded tweet, but an email is really professional.
What's up, Soma? How's it
Now,
going?
we're all about the professionalism at KBMOD. When we get too drunk to podcast, we email about it.
This is in all caps. Not gonna make it, LOL. I am hammered. RIP. It is 5:29. Pray for me.
All right.
Well, at least he was honest.
I mean,
All right, well, he checks out. That's definitely Nick Fenton.
yeah, that's definitely... Yeah, and Nikon is cooking food. And his wife is on his computer as well. So, we were gonna have Nikon on, but...
He's currently being completely emasculated in every imaginable way.
Yeah, the podcast has begun. I'm watching Northwest Majors 6 on my other computer. But yeah, podcast has begun. We are all here. And we're going to talk about some video games.
Wait, this is a video game podcast? I can't.
know,
It's fucking nerds.
I thought this is, we just have a Skype call and we all play video games or watch something else on our computer and then just kind of ramble and whatever comes out, you just put up there.
That's pretty, I mean...
There's
That's
a
just
the
so
most
happens-
accurate descriptor of the podcast.
It actually just so happens that 138 times in a row, the only thing we had to talk about was video games.
Yeah.
Because we live really uninteresting lives.
Yeah, that was essentially... All right. Well, let's start off with one hexadecimal. What did you play this week, sir? Or do?
What did I do and play this week? I'm playing Tomb Raider right now on my streams. That game is pretty awesome. I wish I'd played it last year before we voted on things because it's really good. I'll probably finish that this week. We played the golf club this week. That was super fun.
God, that game is good.
So good.
For a golf game, it looks good. I just don't care about golf, so
Yeah,
I probably
exactly.
won't play it.
That's fair.
I'm in the same boat.
We
The guys
we have
from HB Studios were pretty cool though.
Yeah, we have an interview up on our YouTube and on the website on KBMOD.com for the interview Hex did with Peter Garson of HB Studios. One of the most interesting things I heard during that was that those are the dudes who also made the PGA Tour EA games.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So and then EA canceled the PGA Tour game this year, and basically they were like, well, let's still make a golf game.
Yep, pretty much.
This is all I know.
I don't know what else to do.
I mean, if you can make some mini golf courses, if you can get some crazy windmills and shit on the golf course, I'll buy it.
See, someone actually asked
$1,000,000.
Dude, someone asked that. They're trying to add that into the content creator if you can't already do so.
Well, that would be nice then.
Yeah, if they have if that goes through the whole content creator thing, that will definitely be the first thing that happens is mini golf. Also, if you can just remake Rugrats mini golf from the PlayStation 1 and HD remaster that.
I played that game.
It's horrible. God. It is
No, it's the best. Come on,
bad.
don't kill the nostalgia of Rugrats.
Nope. I'm killing it. It's bad. It is so bad. Dude, you don't even have to play it. Watch a video of that game again. It is, like, impressively terrible looking.
You're the ruiner of dreams.
Dude, it was a freaking, like, 90s or, like, early 2000s, I guess, Nickelodeon game on the PlayStation 1. How do you think it was? Honestly.
Game of the year that year?
I used to play the PlayStation Golf for PS2. It was just, like, called PlayStation All-Stars Golf or something. But it was quite good. Like,
it's weird that the IPs that have had golf games, even Aqua Teen Hunger Force has a golf game. Like,
wait, what?
why is that the sport? Yeah, Aqua Teen Hunger Force had a PS2 golf game, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, two of those characters don't have hands.
KBMOD is the golf ball, okay?
Oh, okay, that's fair enough.
Huh. All right,
that's
strange.
Now it all makes sense. God damn.
But other than that, I played the Go Buy Nintendo Cartridges at a Flea Market game this morning, and that was massively successful. So,
do you have an NES?
How big of a box did they have?
Oh god, there were dudes that just had like laundry tubs full of fucking Nintendo games. But I found 4 solid games for $12, and now I have to find a Nintendo. So
$12. I like going to places that sell PC parts. I mean, like an Office Max or something, and they always have that garbage bin full of games. And I went there yesterday, and I was looking through, and they had some of the greatest shit, like Dora the Explorer. They had an old 2006 Cabela game. They actually had Braid in there, of all fucking things. They had several copies of Braid.
A physical copy of Braid? Yeah. I would have bought that. I actually would have purchased that.
It's only $10.
I guess I know where you get your Let's Play ideas.
Definitely.
I had been thinking of doing a night on my channel or sometimes on KBMOD, something where I went to like a Walmart and just went to that dollar PC games section and just started picking shit out from there.
Yeah, I mean, that's where you get those exclusive games that they don't release digitally, and they somehow still have fucking physical copies out there somewhere, and they're just sitting in Walmarts
that would either be
for the next bidder.
That would be either the most hilarious stream because the game is terrible, or just trying to watch you install one of those games on a modern computer.
Yeah, I don't know if any of them would really work. That would be very tricky.
It would honestly be a fucking crapshoot.
Unless you knew how to fix a game that wouldn't launch, but I have no idea. Other than running it in compatibility mode, that's as far as my knowledge goes.
It would just literally be a stream of Dan trying to Google, like, how does make game work in 7? Like, that would just be the whole stream.
It would essentially just be that, because a lot of those games are like Sherlock Holmes Adventure.
Yeah, there's a lot of point-and-click mystery games. Tons of them.
Tons of like tie-ins for really popular franchises. Actually, Dodger did one of them. I know Hex knows who Dodger is. She Let's Played a Sherlock Holmes game. It looked horrible.
Well, yeah, there was one disc that had 5 adventure games on them, like point-and-click things, and one of them was Aladdin of all fucking IPs. Aladdin. Like, Aladdin had a decent game on the NES, did it not? I don't remember if that was
Super Nintendo and Genesis.
And then they just fucking throw it to the mystery game, the point-and-click mystery game.
God damn it!
You've got to find the genie.
It's such an action-packed like Disney movie too. Like the characters constantly like parkouring around and like jumping off of rooftops using a fucking carpet as a parachute. Like, why would you point-and-click adventure that? What a fucking waste of potential. That's so. Ugh.
So
it's like some random government program where they just hire these programmers and just let them do whatever, and they just make these really shitty games.
Oh god, yeah. It's probably like educational and shit.
I just searched Sherlock on Steam.
Yeah.
There's a surprising amount of
yes, there is.
games.
Yes, there is.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh no, 9.
Wow.
That was the trailer. So yeah, 9 Sherlock Holmes games. Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper.
Yep.
Which I hope is a beat 'em up because that would be hilarious.
No, it's an adventure game.
It is listed under RPG, which I
forget Sherlock Holmes.
RPG?
The longest list is probably Nancy Drew. Look that up on Steam. That is pages of games. Pages of Nancy Drew games.
They have a shitload of Nancy Drew games for some reason.
Dear Lord. They're all $7. They're all the same price. All of them. And they date back to
And then there's DLC and well, no, wait. These are just trailers and shit. Let me just search for games and see if it goes past more than... No, it goes up to 2 pages of, 26. Well, no, never mind. One of them's not Nancy Drew.
For $79.98, you can get the Nancy Drew collector's pack.
Wonderful. That sounds like a decent price.
Can you get that on the KBMOD account? Because I want to play through every one of those games on my show.
I don't know if Bob and Brandon would like it if they saw the Steam message for $80.
What if I could guarantee you?
Drew games?
What if I guarantee you 1 sub for $80 worth of those games?
Are you going to buy your way into Nancy Drew?
I will subscribe to the channel again for Nancy Drew.
The collector pack has 20 games in it. Like you could play nothing but Nancy Drew for the rest of your life and be satiated. Have fun, kids.
Oh, I highly doubt that. That's a pretty strong statement.
So, what Nintendo games did you find? We went wildly
I was pillaging today. I got a Marble Madness cartridge, an original Tetris, Wizards and Warriors, and Faxanadu. So.
Original Tetris, that's good.
Yeah.
Like that.
Marble Madness cartridge too is
solid cartridge. Faxanadu, if you've not played that, it's a great Nintendo game.
Do you have the console, or do you?
No,
also
I don't.
Need to get one?
Yeah. I have a couple other Nintendo games in my footlocker at the moment, and I was like, I wonder where my Nintendo went. Realized I don't have one, so I've spent most of the afternoon pricing them on eBay and haven't pulled the trigger yet.
You should go to the exchange and.
Well, so here's the thing: there was a guy selling cartridges that was also selling like console refurbs for $50, and he was like, "They're normally $65 for the exchange. I'll give you one for $50," and I didn't do it, and I feel like an idiot now.
Yeah, you should have done that.
You realize he tells everybody they're normally $65, right?
I've been to the exchange a bunch of times. They're usually about $65. He was basically right in line with pricing for anything that had a brand new 72-pin connector in it from eBay, so it would have been fine to buy.
I gotcha.
Maybe next week.
Gotcha. Actually, I tried to get to a retro store that's in the same. There's a town a couple towns over. It's maybe like a 20-25 minute drive from where I am.
Yeah.
And that's where I go to buy comic books. And I wanted to do one last stop at my comic book shop before I move. And just so happened to be on Free Comic Book Day. I didn't even know when I left my house that it was Free Comic Book Day. And then somebody tweeted me and was like, "Hey, did you get your free Guardians of the Galaxy?" And I was like, "What?" So I lucked out there. But while I was there, my friend just started working at the coffee shop next door to the comic book shop, and he told me there's like this awesome retro game store right by, and they just so happened to be closed for like some kind of family event or something. There's like a sign up in the window. I was really pissed because I wanted to hit that up before I left. They have some really sweet stuff in the window though. They had like giant pillows of thwomps from Mario, which I really wanted. I really wanted one, but unfortunately closed. I did get some good comic books though.
Nice. What else did you play, Hex?
That's about it this week.
Cool.
Retro Store Simulator.
Retro Store Simulator.
Market digging simulator. That's what I played.
I played one game this week, but it's a really good one. So
pretty much just Dark Souls. It's about all I've had time for. I am getting ready to move, go and start my old, dream job thing. So in preparation for that, I've been spending a lot of time with my friends and family.
I like how you said that it's all you had time for, but you've put like 70 hours into it. You could have split that time up, man.
Not this week.
Oh, okay.
Since it launched. Damn, that would be a serious
not that old.
session.
It's not. Barely over a week old. It's only a week and 2 days.
But I sunk
on
a
PC.
shitload into it while I was like still in the application process for Twitch. I'd still sunk a lot of time into this game.
See, you could have beaten all of the Nancy Drew games, but you just decided to play Dark Souls.
Well, I could have also beaten Dark Souls if I was less shit at it. Could have beaten it in like half that time. I'm not even done. I'm in Iron Keep. If anybody who's played it knows where that is. But it
sucks.
Yeah, I keep getting hit by fucking arrows from across the map, and it's really lame. I'm fighting Smelter Demon right now.
Oh, he's also a bitch.
Oh, good news. My message was rated mid-battle with him. I don't know which one. And imagine the one, I have one right next to the cat in town that sells you rings, and it just says Nimble One, comma, friend. To let everybody know, the cat is your friend. Exactly. But they don't have a word for cat in like the preset messages, so I was like, what sounds like cat? Nimble One. Cats are nimble, right?
Yeah,
there you go. So that's one of my favorite things to do. I never left a single message throughout my entire playthrough of Dark Souls 1. And one of the things I've been having a lot of fun doing is leaving messages in Dark Souls 2 and seeing how high I can get them rated. And I also didn't realize
fucking karma whore. That's what you are. They're like, transferring it over into video games now.
Orange Soapstones is the new Twitter, okay? It's gonna be the new thing that catches on. Yeah, it's like favorites, and it's like I need a fave star for Dark Souls 2 messages.
Yeah, I mean, and it's actually interesting because then people will also like take normal phrases and try to reword them differently. I remember when I first went out of that cave to Majula, there's a lot of people that leave, praise the sun. I decided I would be quote unquote clever, and I put hurrah for light, thinking that I was funny by changing it up just a little bit.
Nobody rated it.
Not so far. Not that I've seen.
That's so cool. I want to say, actually, I just died against Smelter Demon, so I want to see what somebody rated. But I've been having a lot of fun because it has, for anybody who hasn't played it, it only has a very select few amount of preset words and phrases you can choose from. So you can kind of see what people are trying to get at, but they can't quite vocalize it specifically enough. And it's just like a really funny way of like kind of creating broken language, and also the words that just like the jokes that come out of it are really funny because they have like one of the connector kind of words you can have is butt, like
yeah, I'm trying to figure out what tri-tongue butthole means. I'm having some problems figuring out tri-tongue butthole. You can
like, for example, you could say like enemy ahead but treasure ahead, so like, okay, you can go ahead and be worth it. But one of the other words you can use is hole. So a lot of times people would be like, try tongue butthole, like, and it'll be right by like the woman that you use to level up because she's hot, and it's like,
yeah,
like it's not funny, but it's funny because of the context of the world that you're in, and the fact that some fucking armored knight would leave a dumbass message like try tongue butthole.
Exactly, it's your much needed comedic relief that the game itself does not usually provide.
My favorite one is when people leave, I can't take this, question mark.
like shouldn't I be able to obtain this? Like
and like when you drop down, well, somewhat spoilers, I guess. After you kill the pursuer, you can drop down and get the Drang Lake armor, which is some of the best armor in the game. And there's like a corner there that you can't get to, like you're not even supposed to get to. And there's just a message there that says, I can't take this? And it's just like in the corner. All right.
People usually think of good ones to leave when they like glitch to a spot, and you'll see like a message just sort of like floating in the air. Those are usually pretty good. I can't think of any specifics, but people leave some pretty good ones for that.
Yeah.
But I've been having a ton of fun with it. I've been getting my ass kicked by it, but I also started a run today on my live stream. I finally got to live stream after not really having any opportunities to do so throughout the week. I started a fist only run.
Yes.
Which is really fun so far. And I was debating, and I might take them off, but I ultimately decided I was allowed to use cestus, which are the only fist weapons in the game.
Yeah. No, well, there is several others actually.
There are claws, but they actually don't count as fist weapons.
They're very late in the game too.
Yeah, they do come much later as well. So I don't know if I would go with claws, but cestus are the only thing. I mean, they have the same exact move set as fists, so I'm going to be sticking with them. But once I actually put them on, I was actually doing crazy damage. I made it to Dead Man's Wharf today in like, I don't know, about like 3.5 hours of play, which is damn good compared to my first run because I know the game mechanics a lot better now. But I made it. I actually am tearing through that game. I am actually kicking ass. I'm having a lot of fun with that run, but it's mostly just been me like punching dudes in the ass because the backstab Animation is literally just all right. I'm gonna punch this guy right in the butt cheeks. It's pretty good. That's been a lot of fun. But yeah, we'll see what else. I've had a couple of ideas for challenge runs that are like doable, but would still be fun and like challenging. But we'll see how long the game is before I commit to anything like that beyond my fist run.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about a 40-hour playthrough, the whole thing. 40 to
I've been
50.
bad with those games. Like even before Dark Souls 2 came out, I tried to tell myself that I would beat Dark Souls 1, and I only put like 10 hours into it. And, you know, I mean, I really didn't get anywhere except past Taurus Demon. So
Yeah.
I have spent like 3 hours in Dark Souls 2, haven't gotten anywhere really.
Yeah.
It was mostly me just like fucking around at the beginning of the game and fighting those gigantic ogre dudes or whatever.
Oh my
and
God,
getting
they're fucking hard.
extremely fucking mad at those guys because when you go down to the beach one, there's 2 of them, and it
Yeah.
scared the shit out of me when the second one came out of nowhere and hit
Yeah, because
me
he's
right
hiding in a
the back of
little
the head.
corner.
Exactly.
Also,
and I spent a
fun
lot of time on
fact.
them.
There's actually a fun little thing. I won't spoil what it actually is, but there's a coffin laying in the beach right by those two, and
Yep.
if you jump in it, something happens.
Yep.
I won't
I mean, it's
spoil
not
what
really
is.
that big of a deal, but you know,
No,
yeah,
it's
just let
not.
people figure out for themselves.
Yeah.
Um,
Let them get past the ogres. They're easy if you're like later in the game, but early in the game they are fucking impossible.
Yeah, it was pretty tough.
I tried punching one to death. It didn't go so great.
It's they have that grab, and I got caught by it a lot. And,
Yeah, they
and it
eat
was the
you.
most infuriating thing.
They eat you, and it deals all of the damage.
yep.
Oh,
Early
I
in the
did-
game, you will not survive being eaten.
I actually think
My
the
first,
ogres are the hardest trash mobs in the whole game.
Yeah.
They know.
My first death in Dark Souls 2 was at the tutorial part where you do the jump, and I fucking fell doing a jump. I felt like such an idiot that
Jumping
I died there.
is hard in Dark Souls.
It is.
It is not an easy game.
Sometimes you press that button just a millisecond too late, and then you just roll off.
Yeah, I mean, like, they do have the option of using left stick instead of hitting B again.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I just went
Me
right back
neither.
to B.
Yeah, I was too used to the Dark Souls one way of doing things. But it makes a little bit more sense that way because then you're not mashing the same button you're already holding down to run. Like, you have to hold this button down, but then you also have to mash it, which is in my opinion, the reason jumping in this game is hard.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the reason I mess up most of my jumps is because it's bound to the same button.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Dashing.
actually, Upmarket Rat, one of the community dudes here at KBMOD, he was using a keyboard and mouse to play to see how it is, and he said the movement stuff is much easier.
I would imagine.
Like doing
You mean
the
than
jumps.
controller or just better than Dark Souls 1? What was
Better
it
than a
comparing it to?
controller for Dark Souls
Oh,
2.
okay. I gotcha.
Not necessarily combat, but like doing jumps and things
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. It seems like it
is,
would be.
Is easier because there's actually a walk button and a run button, and then you jump with spacebar. So you don't
yeah.
have to do like a button tap.
Mhm.
Yeah, that would be way easier.
Yeah. So. All right, Dark Souls 2 for you. How far are you into the game? What's your farthest?
Iron
save?
Keep.
Iron Keep. Okay. That
Yeah,
place
right.
is-
I'm playing it right now, and I am playing I am fighting Smelter Demon as
Yeah.
we speak. He has killed me like 3 times while I was talking about Dark Souls 2.
Wonderful.
Mark.
Yep.
Yeah, so my addiction has been Trials Fusion for the past couple of weeks that it's been out. And I have sunk almost 20 hours into it, and I am almost done. I have one map that is not gold medaled, and it is the map before Inferno 4. I golded Inferno 4 yesterday or the day before. I forget. I mean, I announced it on Twitter because I was so fucking happy. I'd spent so much time on that map trying to figure out the obstacles and how to do them optimally. And it's very forgiving because gold medal on Inferno 4, I think, is 44 faults and 6 minutes. And my run was like 39 faults in, you know, a little less than
Jesus.
3. I mean, that's a lot of time to give you. But that map is fucking atrocious when it comes to, you know, your patience, I would say. But the map before it, I'm just having trouble with one of the obstacles, and it's just slowing me down on even attempting a silver. I don't have a silver medal on it, so.
Yeah.
But then the the next thing after that is to either go for platinum medals or to do the challenges, which is actually one of my favorite things that they added, because that gives me a lot of replay value to have to go back and do challenges for those things. Because there's some with the extreme maps where you have to beat them using that pedal bike.
Oh, God.
I can imagine that's not going to be very easy to do. I haven't actually used the pedal bike, but I imagine that the power's a lot lower, And there's a lot of bunny hops and extreme maps, and they're not easy. They're not easy at all. So I don't know how the pedal bike is going to work there, but you know, just things like doing a bunch of backflips, or I know that there's one where you have to like wheelie on a certain part. Just little things like that that can suck a lot of time out of your life and make you feel accomplished when you're finished with them. But yeah, that's what I've been playing the most. I played a little bit of Daylight because I did a video because I didn't like the game. So I was telling people why I didn't like the game. I played Left 4 Dead 2. What else have I played? Some TF2. You know, just the usual. Some CSGO here and there.
Oh man, dude, me and Scott, we're gonna queue up.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. You guys keep talking about, you know, going back in there and doing competitive, and I want to play that game. I have tried to get into it several times, and then I just don't because I don't really have anybody to play with. So doing it solo is not that great of an idea.
This week we head into the competitive queue.
But yeah, I also, as a kicker, Call of Duty Ghosts had a free weekend, so I reinstalled it.
Oh God!
For about an hour, and I played some of it this morning. It is still as bad as it was, even with their fucking paltry 80 FOV update. Like there is nothing else to say about 80 FOV other than that is just fucking sad, and you should be ashamed of yourself. But there is still this fucking garbage bug with the contextual lean, which is stupid to have on PC anyways. But there is one specific map where it's a building that's toppled over sideways, right? And there are a lot of walls. So there's a lot of contextual leaning. And that's when I figured out that sometimes when my character just decides to do a 180 for no fucking reason, it's because he's going into contextual lean and flipping me around because it only happens on certain maps. And it happened to me like 10 times on that map in a 20-minute span. And I kept getting killed because of it. I would get into a fight and then all of a sudden I'm looking the opposite fucking direction and getting shot in the butt. And I don't understand how that gets past QA. There are just these things that are so blatantly fucking obvious that shouldn't be there. And anybody who is worth their salt in quality assurance should catch that and say, should I be turning around? Is that a thing? No, it's not. It's not. You have to shoot the guy in front of you, okay? I don't want to check my 6 every 2 seconds. That's not what I want to do.
Based on what I've heard,
still sucks.
Based on what I've heard about QA, chances are they did catch it and reported the bug, and the dev team was like, too fucking bad. We have a release window.
We shipping.
Exactly.
We shipping. Gotta make them ship dates, yo. That's what happens.
We're not talking about CSGO. We're talking about COD Ghosts.
No, I'm talking about COD Ghosts.
Contextual lean in CSGO.
Yeah.
Contextual lean.
Yeah, I aim down sights often.
That's an actual PC game.
Yeah. So you've been addicted to that Trials.
Oh God, it's so good. I mean, if you have not played Trials, anybody out there, and you are into time attack type of things, like that is the perfect thing for you. That level design, like. I love that so much when you can feel that somebody spent fucking months meticulously designing these obstacles and they're just built to fuck you over, and it feels really good to get fucked over because somebody spent a lot of time working on that.
Yeah. So I guess I am last here. I played I played some Dark Souls 2. I re-rolled my character on my personal channel. Also, if you play as a caster, you're a pussy. And you're not playing the game. You're not playing the game the right way.
I have seen some gameplay of that, and it looks like the easiest thing in the world.
I have a playthrough going on KBMOD of Dark Souls 2 as a caster using only magic.
Yeah.
And I shit on the last sinner so hard, which was a boss that gave me tons of trouble. I just pooped on it. Yep, just killed it.
Lost Sinner is
I think it's the hardest boss in the whole game.
Are you retarded?
No, I've beaten the whole game.
I haven't.
What does that tell you about the rest of the bosses now?
I 2-shot Lost Sinner.
Yeah, I got destroyed until I summoned someone.
Tim 1-shot her.
Yeah, I couldn't.
You're bad.
On PS3. No, it's been through several patches since then.
Oh, has it?
That. Yeah. Also,
okay, I didn't know that.
Last Giant is also a lot harder than he was, although I 2-shotted him still. He's still a bitch, but
Nick sounds like every Twitch chat ever of a person playing Dark Souls.
Yeah, he does.
Get good, kid.
Yeah,
Get
to be
good.
fair,
You're fucking garbage.
It's kind of funny for me to even say that because I am awful at Dark Souls 2. I have died in my main file like 400 times.
Yeah,
and I'm in Iron Keep.
Last Sinner got nerfed, and Last Giant got harder. He actually attempts to turn around a lot more now.
Gotcha.
So, but like Pursuer, I like punched to death the other day. So, I mean, but Pursuer actually is. I mean, he's sort of easy, but I don't know. The bosses are just not great in that game, unfortunately.
Nah, I think they were.
Yeah, I watched a video by a dude named is it Matthew Matosis or whatever. He did like a full like 50-minute video talking about the different bosses and whatnot. I spoiled all of it for myself just because I was interested.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like Dark Souls 2, if you're wanting to get into the series, is the one that you should start with because it's the easiest game.
It is.
And then you work your way out from that.
It is easier. I think it's easier than Dark Souls. I think Demon Souls is the hardest of the three, for sure.
Yeah, did you see the teaser images that got
Project
leaked?
Beast?
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to be Demon Souls 2, essentially.
Looks good. Yeah. And Miyazaki is going to be back at the helm of that, right? So.
Oh my god.
That's what people want.
Yeah. Demon Souls is more punishing than the other two, although I think that Dark Souls had some of the biggest cock blocks ever put in a game, ever. Some of the areas in Dark Souls. And those don't exist really in Dark Souls 2.
Yeah.
Those cock blocks. And I think that's the biggest difference because there is no Ornstein and Smo. And there is no Anne Orlando, which had some of the worst platforming to do. And none of that really exists in Dark Souls 2. But in a way that's a good thing, but on the other hand, that's like a rite of passage, like Ornstein and Smo, that fucking boss. But
yeah, I don't know. I think I had a lot of cockblock areas when I first started the game, when I hadn't yet learned the more intricate mechanics.
Forest of the Giants is a bit of a bitch to start in Dark Souls 2.
Oh my god, it's horrible when you first start. But once you get the gameplay mechanics down, like just training through it on my second character was so easy. And I would say the only cock blocks I've really run into were getting lost and just not knowing where to go next. I think the game is even worse than Dark Souls 1 at telling you where to go.
Yep.
Which is unfortunate.
But I did play a brand new game that came out on Thursday, Child of Light. And
how was that?
It is phenomenal.
Ooh, so I have that.
Played the first couple hours of it. It is, I mean, it's really easy. If you're looking for, you can put it on a more difficulty. I just played it on normal. But, I mean, it is set up like a children's story, but in a good way. Like, they do it really well. It's a fairy tale story. The art is phenomenal. It is totally
the art looked really good. That was the thing that stuck out to me, although I didn't really care to really look into the game. I did like the art style a lot. It looks nice.
Right.
It looks like a watercolor painting.
Yeah, it's a big watercolor painting, and it has skill trees, like you level up. It's a JRPG. The combat's actually really cool. I've never played a game with combat like this, but there probably is a JRPG that has the same type. So it's kind of like Final Fantasy or something like that, where you pick your spell for the character to cast, and then you pick the enemy you cast it on, and then and you go back and forth. It's not turn based, but there's time. But in this game, it shows you there's like a time bar at the bottom, and you have a little companion named Igniculus, and you can move him over the enemies and slow down their cast. So you can try to time it to where, so if you get hit while you're casting a spell, you can you get interrupted, and you can also do that to enemies.
Yeah.
So if you hit them during their cast bar, so the whole bar is like blue, and then there's a red cast part at the end, and you can slow this down to try and interrupt them. And yes, AJ, that's a really good point. All the dialogue rhymes. It's all in rhyme. You pick up party members as it goes on. You level up. It is pretty easy, but getting the combat down at first is actually to get it efficient. You do have to learn what you're doing a little bit as far as trying to time everything. But you can make a character into a healer through the skill tree, or you can make them into a tank, or you can make them into just a pure damage dealer. all that stuff. It's supposedly 8 to 12 hours long, depending on how much you do, and it's a $15 game. So I mean, that's not too bad value-wise.
That's longer than I expected.
Yeah, and it's on the Rayman engine, so the platforming is really nice. It's on the UbiArt framework, I guess they call it. Totally worth your time, in my opinion. This month for our monthly KBMOD giveaway, you just have to be an active subscriber, and you will have a chance to win a copy of Child of Light. We're giving away 3 copies of that this month, so
nice.
But it's totally worth your time to check out. If you like JRPGs, you will feel right at home. I mean, it's right up your alley if you like that kind of stuff, and the art style and everything is, you know, just extra goodness at that point. But yeah, I'm only a couple hours in, so but that was the main different thing I played. I also got back into Go a little bit, played a night of CSGO, and yeah, we're definitely gonna queue up competitive and get our asses beat.
It's always fun how we just play it for one community night or something, and it's like, oh god, we got to play CSGO more. Yeah. What the fuck have we been missing? Back to CSGO.
It's huge too. The game is like getting
huge.
The
game has grown so much.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Isn't it like the second most played game on Steam?
Yeah, like all the time.
Usually every day. Yeah.
It's got the second most concurrents behind, of course, the juggernaut of Dota 2.
Of course.
Which has just passed WoW in active users.
That's it.
No, that's unique players.
That's actually
unique
crazy,
players.
Though. Like
and unique players can be several people playing on different, one person playing on several accounts. Excuse me. Like unique does not equal active to me, and also it's a free-to-play game.
Yeah, exactly.
It's apples and fucking oranges.
I've also been playing a good chunk of Hearthstone. I don't know why, but I just love Constructed again. Partially because I have a deck now that I feel confident in. And I had all the cards to make like this. It's just a to-the-face mage deck.
To the face.
And like, you know, I can win on turn 3 or 4. But I can also...
That's a quick win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can also make it late game. What you do is you use these cards, which actually the name is escaping me for some. I think Sorcerer's Apprentices, who make your spells cost 1 less.
Yeah.
2 for 2.
Yeah. So what'll happen is I'll get a combo of 2 of those out, and then I'll be able to do Frostbolts with
1 mana.
God, what's the other ice card that does more damage?
Ice Lance.
Frozen. Ice Lance. I'm blanking totally. And I can do combos for like 25 damage on like 1 turn for very little mana. So, and I just have a lot of little creatures that I put out. So you just dink them in the beginning, and then once you get the spell combos in, you can crush people really quickly. It's just you have to worry about getting rushed to the face as well with it, because there's not much defense. It's all about just winning quickly.
Which, in Constructed, you're going to be going up against Zulocks and Hunters.
Right. And actually, Locks I have no trouble with at all, oddly enough. Hunters and armor-based warriors are very hard, because it's hard to chew through everything that they put up. And the Hunters just kill me very quickly.
Yeah, the last time I played it, I played on Allison's account because she wanted the mount, and that was the last time I played it. And I just played with the default mage deck because, you know, I had to do the tutorial. Yeah, so I just went with that into it, and I won in 4 games. It was pretty funny. Everybody was pretty bad at rank 25.
Yeah, they tend to be.
I mean, I usually run through to about rank 15. I started at rank 22 instead this time. I guess that's how they do it now. They start you at sort of an
I guess if
rank.
you like are a certain rank in the previous season, they just don't want you crushing people really hard.
Right. Because I went in without having played for like a month and a half, and played, and in one night got to 14 with that mage deck. And then ended the month at like 18, and then got the new card backs. So card backs are a thing now, and there's an expansion coming out this summer. Naxxramas coming out this summer.
Yeah, I read about that one. Isn't it just is it all PvE type deal? Like you're fighting new bot mods?
There's new cards
bot mobs.
Too, of course.
MOBS. I can't speak today.
Cannot wait for that.
new cards, of course. We'll see. We'll have to see how they balance it because it's always hard for people who played Magic or any other card game.
Yeah.
When an expansion comes out, everything tends to change, and sometimes things are a little broken till they till they.
Hopefully they can patch. Yeah, it's at least not like Magic the Gathering where once they put it out, it's out there. There's, There's no going back.
Yeah.
So
that's why I stopped playing Magic. The rules got way too complicated.
Yeah, it got crazy. I used to play the Star Wars customizable card game. Which
Star Wars TCG.
It was fucking awesome, actually. It was really well done. And I had more fun with it than I did playing Magic. But whenever expansions would come out, it was just like the already complicated rules became
even more so
at that point. But that is all I've been doing. I got really drunk last night and I felt terrible all day. So there was that too. But
it's always a fun game.
Yeah, it was not a fun game. But we're going to take a quick 2-minute commercial break, guys. And we will be back with some news. Thanks to Jason for subbing. Get to say that when it happens.
Thanks, mate. And those of you scumbags who use AdBlock get to be privy to the knowledge that I am now wearing a dress in Dark Souls 2.
Nice.
Because it has great fire resistance.
Have you seen those dudes who wear the butterfly wings?
No.
There's a butterfly princess set thing.
That is wonderful.
Yeah. That is amazing.
And there's dudes who PvP exclusively with butterfly wings on.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
Fucking heroes.
When you're getting shit on and having your day ruined, why not have it ruined by a dude wearing butterfly wings?
That is incredible. It's kind of shit I would do if I PvP'd in this game. I would just be looking for the most trolly ways to PvP. Because I don't have that much interest in actually fighting other people.
Yeah, okay, it's Moonlight Butterfly set. So it's a set based on the Moonlight Butterfly. Yeah. Butterfree, baby.
Is Moonlight Butterfly in this game?
No, I don't believe so. There's a lot of hearkening back to stuff in Dark Souls. I think this is the only nod to Moonlight Butterfly. There's also no boss as lame as Moonlight Butterfly.
Butterfly was fucking dumb.
I looked at this butterfly set. It's fucking ridiculous looking.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
These pictures. Hold on. I'll send you an image in Skype right quick of one dude wearing it. There you go.
I'm kind of fighting a giant demon on fire right now, but I will check it out.
This is the best.
Pretty.
Can he be the lead character in all games from now on?
He's a pretty man. Look at his beard.
That takes dedication to dye a beard that teal. Like,
I love the hair color choices in this game.
Okay, we are back from commercial with a bit of news this week. So Zenimax got real mad because Elder Scrolls Online is terrible, and so they decided to sue Oculus over the code that John Carmack wrote when he was still at id, that he wrote for the Oculus Rift. And it turns out they weren't just angry at Elder Scrolls, and Palmer Luckey, the CEO of Oculus, did indeed sign a thing saying basically we could
like
use
he
that.
Acknowledged that that they
this
own the code.
This was well before the Facebook acquisition and all this stuff came out. So it does look like indeed they may be at fault here. Although Carmack is maintaining that Oculus uses 0 lines of code that I wrote while under contract to Zenimax.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, if they did and he had a no compete clause, then yeah, they would have something there. I haven't really looked into all of the details like past the initial article, which was pretty, like there wasn't much to read there other than the fact that there was some hubbub over it. But yeah, should look into this again. I guess
we can now say goodbye to Carmack doing that keynote at QuakeCon. I think we can basically say that is done. So, but yeah, it looks like indeed Oculus may be at fault here. We shall see how this turns out. I love that Carmack is going on fucking Twitter to defend his shit.
That was pretty funny.
Like, does not give a damn about.
It's one of the only tweets you can read from him that you might understand.
Exactly.
Yo, I didn't do this. That's what he should have tweeted. If Carmack ever tweets the word "yo" in that context,
nah, man, that ain't me.
So this though is some good news here. We'll keep an eye on that Oculus situation. We'll see. I don't think it's going to hurt them. Not with Facebook.
I was going to say,
them, but...
Facebook is going to say, point at the stack of money and we'll write you a check and just go away. That's all that's going to happen in this case.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
How many zeros? Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Or they'll give them some royalties.
Right.
Like,
yeah, something like that.
But this news is something that this podcast, numerous members of this podcast, some who aren't here today, and other members of the community have been wanting to hear for a long time.
So hype.
So apparently on May 8th, Epic is going to be streaming something about the future of Unreal Tournament.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
So excited about this.
We don't know what exactly that means, but we're hoping it's a new Unreal Tournament flat out and not just like...
Watch it be the worst reveal ever. Just the worst thing.
So
do not get your hopes up, people. Don't do it.
Yeah,
don't be
crushed.
Like, are speculating that it's going to be like a free-to-play UT game. That's how they're going to move. And they're going to make Unreal Tournament.
It's going to be a mobile Unreal Tournament game.
God, I cringe at the thought of a free-to-play Unreal Tournament, but I also am so excited about the thought of a new Unreal Tournament.
I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast from like December when Cliffy B was on, and Cliffy B basically said that when the day he left Epic, he gave like a goodbye speech kind of thing, and he basically told them, please God, make a new Unreal Tournament. Like, that was one of the last things he directed them to do. He's like, one of my last orders is that you must make a new Unreal Tournament.
I mean, it makes sense because they've stopped Gears, right? They're done making that.
They're done making
Judgment
Gears.
Was a complete
Black
failure.
Tusk is making the new Gears.
I gotcha. Yeah,
which is the internal Microsoft studio.
I now remember that happening.
I don't think this will be a free-to-play. I mean, maybe. But
I
do think we are getting a new Unreal Tournament. It's just a matter of how it is rolling out.
Exactly.
So, I mean, Unreal is fucking sweet, though. And it was a ton of fun. We played Unreal 1 like a year plus ago.
Yeah, we did UT99 on one of my Rewind Wednesday shows. It was great. Awesome. We had a great time.
Yeah. So I'm really hyped for this. I actually prefer Unreal to Quake, as everyone throws things at me from the chat.
I agree with you 100%.
I just think it's more fun. Quake
I feel out of this conversation. I'd never played Unreal Tournament or Quake.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God, dude. Both very hard games to be really good at. But
we should do a UT 2K4 community night.
Which apparently works really well on Windows 7 and shit. Like, it doesn't
I have it installed right now.
At all. So, yeah, Epic Games, May 8th. I believe it is on their Twitch channel. Which, let me get you, it's twitch.tv/Unreal Engine. So they're doing UE4 dev stuff on the same stream, so we don't know exactly when they'll be making the announcement on the stream. It's not just for Unreal, though. So Unreal.
It says 2 p.m. EST on May 8th.
All right, so there you go. God, I hope so. Please be a PC game as well. Don't be like, we've got to deal with
Well,
Microsoft
that would be fucking stupid.
To bring it to Xbox One exclusively.
Yeah, that would be just ridiculous.
But goddamn, dude, I am very excited. Let's hope it's not some abomination. But
yeah,
you never know. Epic hasn't made anything in a bit.
They haven't even really talked about anything in a bit. Like the last thing they did were like, hey, we still got that Fortnite game. You guys still want to play that?
Yeah, that went under the radar for so long before they finally brought it back. Because wasn't that back in like 2011, 2010, something like that, when they were talking, they were hyping it up, and then it just went away for 2 years. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, Fortnite's
now it's starting to resurface
later this year.
They said they redesigned big portions of it.
Yeah. So hopefully Unreal Tournament is a thing. Unreal Tournament 2K14 or whatever they're going to call it. It wouldn't be out, I don't think, until 2015, even 2016. if they're just announcing it. But you know,
God, if they announced Unreal Tournament 2015, like
they can
if that
probably
was...
dev on their own engine pretty well. So
yeah,
I wish developers would start just announcing their games like 6 months before they're going to be released. Like that's how you do a fucking hype train. Just knowing that maybe the Unreal Tournament would come out this fall.
Oh, that would be amazing.
December.
They've been secretly working on it for like 4 years.
So hopefully, now on to some little changes in WoW, but these are good, especially for people who are not hardcore raiders in WoW. But it is also good for those people who are hardcore raiders. So they've announced the new raid structures for Warlords of Draenor. Right now, there's like 6 different ways you can queue up.
There's a lot.
Jeez.
But it will be reduced to 4. So flex raid is gone, but that doesn't mean you can't do flex raiding. It's just different. I'll get to that.
Yep.
Flex raiding is gone. Normal 10 and 25 is gone. As 2 different separate things.
Well, I mean, it's not that flex is gone; it's that flex is the new
flex. Everything is flex
raid now.
Essentially,
yeah.
Everything is flex
now. Everything.
So there is Raid Finder. You can queue up for Raid Finder 10 to 25. It will scale for whatever number gets in that group between 10 and 25. So if you are a guild that's mid-sized or has people that can't be there all the time, if you can get 12 people together, you can go. That's pretty cool. You don't have to have a certain number. Normal difficulty is different than Raid Finder, at least step up from Raid Finder. Same thing. You can get between 10 and 25 people. You don't need a specific number. As long as you have somewhere in that 15-person range, which, I mean, is pretty great. It allows a lot of flexibility. You can do normal difficulty. Heroic, also a separate queue, 10 to 25. And then there is, finally, for the hardcore guilds, for the best guilds in the world, there is a new difficulty called Mythic, but you must have 20 people for that.
Yeah, I mean, and that makes sense because when you do something like Flex, the problem comes in where is it really going to be tuned to where 10 and 25 man are necessarily the same and completing it is the same kind of difficulty?
Yeah.
Because, whenever you have like these achievements and these top guilds and whatnot, well, who's really the best? The guys that did it at 10, the guys that did it at 25. So I think the idea of the Mythic thing is a really good idea to kind of hinder that.
And I think it will bring in some of the hardcore raiding community that left when basically Cataclysm ruined that content. When my guild that raided 1 day a week killed Heroic Deathwing, So also the thing about Mythic is, so if you want to raid with your friends, let's say you are in that hardcore guild and you're doing Mythic difficulty, Mythic is a separate lockout. The other ones so it's Mythic and Raid Finder are separate lockouts. Normal and Heroic are their own. So you can do one of those a week, but you can also do Raid Finder.
And they're also changing the way the Raid Finder gear works. Because the way it is now is I think that there's certain set bonuses and also some trinkets that people feel like that it's necessary for them to also do Raid Finder runs outside of their guild runs. And they don't want that to be the case because Raid Finder is, just a bridge between the gap of a casual player and seeing end content. It's not supposed to be hard. I mean, Allison will tell you like it's the easiest thing in the world to do Raid Finder. So, I mean, that's really the way it should be. And I mean, it's good that they're trying to fix that. Although I have seen and heard of the gear, and it's very ugly. That's in Raid Finder. That's one of the biggest problems is that it seems like they have a big issue with making gear that looks okay these days. Yeah. Like they had some really good gear in Vanilla and Burning Crusade, and now it's harder to come by. I think they're just running out of ideas for the kind of effects that you can put onto shoulders.
Yeah, for the raid changes though, if you want to go look at that, you can look at that. It's on their blog, their WoW blog. But previous to that, there were 2 other articles that basically went through the design process and the mindset that they used when designing raids in Vanilla and then in Burning Crusade and then through all the expansions. So if you're into WoW and you're also into actually a little bit of game design there, definitely go check those out. I read them all. The Vanilla approach was pretty crazy because they basically were like, we just wanted hardcore. Like that's like their approach. And then they realized, as everybody did, that 40 man was too damn much. So
way too much.
And then Burning Crusade was where they hit everything right. the raid content and that, and then yeah. So they talk about it. You should go read it. It's pretty cool. And finally, because we have to talk about it. I don't even have a news link in here. New Call of Duty has been announced. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Which, did we really need another future warfare game?
Sure.
I mean, like,
yeah, why not? Let's do 10 more.
Well, do we really need another Call of Duty game? No, but
yes,
it's gonna happen.
We did,
anyway.
all right. We need the money. Okay.
Wait, who's we? Are you in Activision's pocket, Dan?
Just shut up, all right? Let me.
I'm sorry for prying where I shouldn't have.
Let me take the money. And run. No, it's just we did Black Ops 2, which was set in the near future.
Mm-hmm.
We did Ghost, which is set sort of in like
sort
the
of.
near
I mean,
future.
there's a death laser, so I mean it's futuristic enough.
Is the death laser attached to a dog or?
So we have
later in the game. Don't spoil it for the people in the chat that haven't played through Call of Duty Ghosts. It's a masterpiece. You should play the single player campaign.
Sorry.
Well, let's go back here real quick. So we had Call of Duty 4, right, which was kind of the reimagining of the whole series, right? COD 4 took it away from World War II, which it had been in all the other games, I believe, up to that point. And we took it to Modern Warfare, so it was present day, everything with COD 4. So then we did Modern Warfare 2, same thing. Okay, we went present day again. So, and then we went back, correct me if I'm wrong here, to World at War. We went back to World War II, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I guess.
So that was our last World War II game for one of these. Last old style. Blops was in Vietnam.
Yep.
And that was cool too. Like, it was like, oh, okay. Various settings. Then they've all been future since then. Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, Ghosts, and now this. Please, God, please. There was a rumor before this announcement that it was going to be a World War
I. Yeah.
How I would have actually been excited. Had it been a World War One. Just because I just feel like I haven't killed enough Krauts throughout time.
I
seriously would have been excited had it been World War One, because they haven't touched that ever. That would have been
for me, the problem with Call of Duty after COD 4 is that they've just made it super convoluted, and they try to add too many things to what should be a more simplistic multiplayer setup. Like COD 4, 3 kill streaks. It's all everybody gets. You have guns with attachments, but it's not crazy. They've only got a few attachments. There's no gun skins. There's no ridiculously crazy menus. It just works, and casual players can play it, and people who are good at the way COD works can dominate the easy crowd. Like, that's how it should be. Call of Duty can work as a game that is for a casual and a more quote-unquote hardcore community. I don't think that it deserves an esports stage at all. I don't think it does. I just think it's one of those games that can be popular if they would just do it right, and everybody would be happy. Like, I love COD 4. I still want to go back and play it. It's a good game. It's fantastic. And it was simple. It's not all of these 10-point systems where you remove a secondary weapon and now you can add a new perk, or you can remove an attachment. It gets too stupid.
Yeah, and I think, this is also being made by Sledgehammer, for those that don't know, who worked a lot on Modern Warfare 3, which was a piece of shit.
Yeah. So, and isn't this the first one that's supposed to be part of the 3-year development cycle? Has this been in development for 3 years?
No. But it is the first one.
Okay, so it's the first one that starts the cycle. I got you. All right.
Yeah, so next year, I think, is Treyarch, and they would have been on 3 years then at that point.
Yeah. My favorite thing about the reveal trailer is that it just solidifies the fact that to sell Call of Duty, they always get some famous guy to voice act in the game, right? You've had your Keith Davids, your Idris Elba, you've had fucking Ice Cube, you've had all of these fucking people. And now not only are they getting Kevin Spacey, they just fucking took Frank Underwood from House of Cards. Did. Like, that's all they did. It's fucking Frank Underwood without the accent. It's literally the same character. He's just not in fucking Congress anymore. He's running a private military corporation. Like, that's all you're doing. You are taking a character from another series, and it's really ridiculous how they are trying to sell their game based on just other personalities rather than the game itself. Because I mean, like, that's most of the trailer is just fucking Kevin Spacey talking about war. It's always some white guy having a monologue about war while some dude jumps off of something. What's the point of the trailer?
Him.
That's a good point. I hate white people.
It's just.
Actually, I liked that trailer only because Kevin Spacey's in it, and I love House of Cards. It was just like, oh man, this works.
I mean, he does a great job. That's the problem. Is that all of these guys that they get, Kiefer Sutherland and everybody, do a great job voice acting, but they're surrounded by garbage, so it doesn't really help. They can't save the game.
I mean, it's
Snoop Dogg can.
More weed skins will save Call of Duty.
I played 7 hours of Ghosts. That's it. That's all I've got.
I think I played about an hour of Ghosts on one of the free weekends and just felt dirty afterwards.
It's horrendous.
Yeah, someone just
really
said
bad.
Walter White confirmed for Black Ops 3. I can totally see that happening.
I would buy that game. God damn it.
I just was hoping they would not stick with the future shit. And this one looks to be like even further in the future. Like,
someone called it like Call of Halo or something. It's just getting that close.
It looks like Crisis more
looks
than
like
Halo.
Titanfall a little bit.
No,
Crisis
dude,
and Titanfall.
No, they didn't want to copy that game at all. Why would they want to do that?
There's no sore feelings there.
No.
Yeah. So that is our last news. Couple new releases this week. Well, there was a third one, but I was informed in chat that it was delayed. But Outlast Whistleblower DLC on May 6th. Outlast, say what you will about the horror games or whatever, it's a pretty well done horror game overall. And a little DLC for it on May 6th, continuing whatever story is in that game. And also Bound by Flame, which is a really interesting looking RPG. It looks kind of like a combination of Skyrim and Dark Souls, although I don't think it is meant to be as hardcore as Dark Souls in any way, but it looks pretty good. You may want to check it out. It's like $33 or something, so it's like a full.
It's like
game.
that 15% off promotion thing before the game actually comes out.
Yeah.
So I mean, once the game comes out, that promotion's gone. So it's like a pre-order
$40
saving
game normally or something.
Yeah,
like
it's
that,
40.
but it's not early access or anything. It's a full release. It looks pretty good. And that comes out Friday. And Killer is Dead, which is not that good of a game.
It's pretty fucking awful.
Was supposed to come out that Friday, and I want to play it, so I'm going to get it anyway, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's being delayed 2 weeks, so...
Okay. I'll tell you right now, Killer is Dead is enjoyable if you can forgive a really, really, really uninteresting set of combat mechanics. If you can get past the really boring, uninspired combat and just get to the meat of the gameplay and don't expect a good story because it doesn't have one,
well, no.
Then it's enjoyable solely for how fucking cheesy and stupid it is.
They know how to do a screenshot. I mean, they know how to sell this thing on Steam. Like that looks really good from the screenshots.
Yeah.
It's not.
I mean, I've seen the game. Yeah, I know that it's not that fantastic, but they know how to market it well, at least.
Yeah. So, Bound by Flame, you may indeed want to check out, though, if you're into either Skyrim or Dark Souls. That was what I gathered from watching a couple trailers for the podcast, is that it looks a lot like that kind of a game. It also looked a little bit like the pace might be a little bit more of a beat-em-up, like a Devil May Cry type thing.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, it looks pretty cool. $40, though, for a new unknown IP is a bit much to ask of people. We may get it on KBMOD and take a look at it. But that is it for the news. We're going to take a short 1-minute commercial break and then get to some viewer questions.
Hooray!
Hooray!
Everyone's favorite part.
And with good reason.
We're a wild and crazy guy. Taquito's gonna win 3 fucking games at this Northwest Majors. What a monster. Also, this thing's gonna be going till like 2 a.m. Eastern.
Oh no. I switched to dual curve swords so I could power stance, and the combo is sort of like a walking combo, and I just walked off the edge while comboing a guy. I just fell into lava.
That's the saddest thing ever.
It's so sad. And right before that, I got sparted into lava by some fucking fat Ninja Turtle looking asshole.
Oh, you poor man.
I know, I'm a broken human being.
We are back with the viewer questions segment. We only had a few questions today. You guys were not on your Twitter question games.
Or the retweet games.
God.
You guys suck.
Okay, this one I'm adding right now.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean it.
This one I'm adding right now because it's quite good.
I'm watching. That's so stupid.
Oh man, that's.
I don't read the questions beforehand.
You shouldn't.
It's more fun that way.
At Sir Dixalot asks, what is your favorite condiment on a hot dog? Mine is peppers and onions. That's 2.
Yeah, come on, man.
Come on, dude.
I mean, if you had asked what's your favorite array of condiments, then you wouldn't have broken your own rules, but alas.
Nomo, thank you for your subscription, sir.
Wow.
Subscriptions are my favorite condiment. God, I don't know. I like a good spicy brown mustard.
Dan, do you like the burning sensation in your colon after you have a hot dog?
Dude, when it always smells like my boyfriend's colon. And
The smell of my boyfriend's colon.
God, I love it. When he sprays his colon on his chest.
Oh, those never get old. I could read colon tweets all day.
I sometimes just do a search for colon on Twitter. Oh
yeah, condiments. I don't really like condiments on anything other than honey mustard. I like honey mustard, and I don't know if you consider chili. Chili, yeah, honey mustard on a hot dog, fucking beautiful. Honey mustard on anything.
I don't know that I would consider chili a condiment because a chili dog is like sort of its own beast.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Chili dog is separate from a normal hot dog.
Thank you for clarifying the chili.
It's a whole different entity, and it comes highly endorsed by Sonic the Hedgehog.
It's true. He needs them sometimes.
He does.
Actually, all times.
Specifically, the Sonic the Hedgehog voiced by Steve Urkel.
God damn it.
Say, Robotnik, how about a chili dog?
God, Jaleel White, stop.
Just never do that again.
Seriously, the greatest voice actor of our generation.
I would say I like them Chicago style with like a dill pickle on them. Really good.
I've never had that.
It's
but
delicious.
I love pickles. I'm not that crazy about hot dogs, but pickles make everything better.
Jalapenos are quite good. On a hot dog.
Okay.
If you're really loading it up with stuff, those are a good thing to put on.
I'm way too picky for that.
Just put as much shit on here so I can drown out what the meat is actually made of. That's,
yeah. Well, I mean, you got to get like the all beef franks. Like you got to eat real hot dogs if you're gonna eat hot dogs.
You ever had like Chipotle mustard or habanero mustard?
No, that sounds good though.
Yeah,
really excellent. Yeah.
I would try that. I have had spicy ketchup, which I wouldn't disagree with on a hot dog. I don't normally take my ketchup. I don't normally take my hot dogs with ketchup. I would usually do like onions. I do like onions. Usually, if I can get them, I would prefer sautéed onions, but I mean, cooked onions or raw onions rather, definitely not bad on a hot dog. They're up there for me, but I usually go with just like mustard and onions.
Man, now I just want a hot dog.
You guys have some pretty complicated hot dogs. Mine's just a hot dog, a bun, and some mustard on it. That's it.
I actually, if I wasn't going to the diner after this podcast, I would go get a hot dog at Wawa. I'm not gonna have that ability very soon.
So now on to a useful question, or what could be a useful question. At Canadian Furry asks, what free/cheap programs would you recommend to people building a new rig, or just looking to improve the one they have? I mean, I'm guessing you're just asking about useful applications that are free.
Yeah, I don't know if they mean in order to acquire parts to build a computer or programs that you put on the computer after it's built.
Yeah, new things. Yeah, new things once it's built.
Yeah.
If you want a list of things that you can look at for a PC build after you've gotten it and you want programs, I've got a fucking build a PC link bookmarked on my computer that's got a million programs listed in it. I'll put it in the chat right now.
So like a few good ones to get that are really all purpose. For virus protection, I just use the Microsoft Security.
Yep.
That is all you need.
It's unintrusive. It does its job.
Lightweight.
It doesn't fuck with my shit. Like
that
AVG
and Malware
used
Bytes.
to be good.
Those are pretty good.
Yeah, Malware Bytes is a great companion to it. Yeah, Bonsai Buddy.
It's a great recommendation.
Good call.
Install Bonsai Buddy immediately.
His voice haunts me. Oh God.
Fucking damn it, Bonsai Buddy.
I remember going on my mother-in-law's PC, and she had like 75 emoticon packs.
Oh God.
Like they were just adware or whatever, but like I was just like, oh my God.
No, stop.
Did she have a virus or like demonic possession at that point?
I would say if you're going to use multiple monitors, Display Fusion is well worth the money you will spend on it.
Yes, get it on a Steam sale.
Yep.
It gets much cheaper.
CCleaner is also a very, very good program to have.
CCleaner is a great one.
Yeah, my C's pretty dirty.
CCleaner's excellent. What else? I'm looking through my shit.
Let's see.
Looking through my shit.
If you have to use Windows 8 for some reason, Classic Shell is really good and it's free.
Until July when it gets or August.
I thought it was August. Yeah, they're bringing the start menu back in August.
Oh my God! Why did Pursuer just spawn, guys? Pursuer just came out of the floor. Help me!
You know what?
Don't buy Pursuer.
You need KeyPass if you use a lot of websites. KeyPass is what you use. Okay, you need to not use the same password for every website. That's fucking stupid. Use KeyPass. That you can randomly generate passwords from characters and you keep them in a file and back it up. You can back it up on your phone. You can back it up to another hard drive. Just constantly back it up.
Yeah, we keep it on. We use one for KBMOD stuff. The owners of the actual LLC, we use it for, like all our hosting and everything, and all randomly generated. We keep it in like a Dropbox and we keep it synced. Like it's really awesome. KeyPass is a really good idea. Especially to keep yourself secure. Like Mark said, random passwords for everything, and you can just get them with one master password.
Yep.
So,
if you're building a new system and need to install a bunch of free shit really quickly, ninenight.com is awesome. Yes. That is the single fastest way to install like a new web browser and Skype and Shockwave, like all the crap you need for your computer right off the bat.
Yep. It'll put everything on there.
Yeah. The only obvious one, the only one I have really to contribute is really obvious, and that's Chrome.
Yes.
Yep.
That's
best browser.
Pretty much it. And Microsoft Security Essentials if you don't have an antivirus or you're not running Windows 8, because Microsoft Security Essentials is sort of like bundled into Windows 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. The new Firefox is actually really good too. It got a redesign and it's a lot more like Chrome now. It's really good.
Flux, Sweet Alien Flux is really good if you do have eye strain issues, if it works for you. Flux did not work for me. I did need gunners.
Yep. I don't like the look of Flux. I just gave up on it.
Yeah. I mean,
the other thing is if you're doing color sensitive work, Flux is not
I was having too many problems where I was like wanting to play a game or do editing, and it's like, well, I got to keep turning Flux on and off to keep going from internet browsing to doing a video. Like, I just don't care anymore. I'll just have eye strain if I have eye strain.
Yeah.
I mostly just try to keep backlights on in my room, so I have less. But yeah, gunners are a pretty good alternative to that.
I forget who it was, but somebody used to come into my streams all the time and just be like almost every stream, but at some point be like, Flux turns. And I don't know why they never changed their settings so that it wouldn't just like randomly abruptly turn off, because it would always turn off for them.
Well,
at the same
whenever you run a
time.
Flash, you can set it to turn off if if Flash video runs. You can set it to turn off.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it would just randomly happen at the same time, at like 1 o'clock every night or something like that when I was streaming. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
That's definitely an issue.
But yeah, all that stuff. Yeah, and Flux is really good if you do have eye strain though. And you don't want to try gunners, try Flux first because it's free.
Yeah, it's free. There's no point in not trying it.
Yeah, I used it for a while. It did not get rid of the headaches I was getting. Gunners did.
I just didn't like it personally. I used it
at work where it didn't matter. Like
the look of it
didn't matter. We do have a forum post for this, kbmod.com/forums. There is a bunch of software forums, so a bunch of software threads on there. Go check them out. So yeah, that's a good list. This next question is something I had never thought about before. I just underlined that instead. At People Theory asks, if you could give a function to male nipples, what would it be?
Latte
also
dispenser is easy.
Oh.
Yeah, this is really easy. I would say
better.
Scotch dispenser.
I'm gonna go with coffee.
All male nipples.
At least I'm staying
Scotch.
sober.
Well, the thing is,
I don't want to live in a world where male nipples
alcohol,
do something, so I need to be drunk.
With alcohol being dispersed from your nipples, as Dave Attell said in one of his old comedy sets, that can't happen. That's actually a bad idea because then your dude friends will want to suck on your nipples all the time.
This is KBMOD. We already do that.
And that's that's gonna get awkward.
No, but then you can also make some money off of it. You start charging like $5 a suck. There you go. I mean, and it rhymes.
It lends itself great to making nipple shots.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'd be down with that. Yeah, that's fine.
Actually, and disregard all the security stuff about KeyPass we just said. D'Urberville's in chat with the best solution for passwords. Draw all your passwords in MS Paint and then store them on your desktop. That's probably the best way to do it.
That is the most secure system you could possibly use.
Nobody will break that encryption of MS Paint. Nobody ever has. Nobody ever will.
No one would think to.
That's
brilliant.
The genius of it.
They don't even know to look.
I don't think Dan has listed his nipple function.
It would definitely be coffee.
Yeah.
So then I would never have to buy coffee again. I could just squeeze my nipples into a cup.
Yeah.
or you could just get a straw that you can just conveniently put in your mouth and just suck straight from the source. Then it's fresh and it's fucking hot, piping hot.
Fresh.
I'm gonna keep my.
Although that does pose the question: Will your man tits be extremely hot all the time and just blood red?
Oh, that's a good point.
And what if you lactate when you're out in public, man? We're getting some problems here with this new function for male nipples.
That's
and
true.
We
probably
don't
don't
think
need to
come
do
up with
anything.
a device.
I'm gonna change my answer back to just like regular milk, just to take that uppity fucking other gender down another peg.
Oh my god.
That'll teach you. Look at me, I can squirt nutrition out of my tits. I don't give a fuck. So can I.
The only thing you need now is a uterus.
Yeah, man. I can't wait to give birth. Somebody asked me what would I do if I had a uterus, because the answer would be have a baby.
I would simply have a child. That's what I would do.
If I had one, I'd be pregnant right now.
I would mutilate my penis in order to create a tiny me.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That's what happens. That's a harsh reality for women, okay?
Oh god.
Good lord.
The John is destroyed irreparably.
Well, this next question may have just answered itself.
I would be just like my hero Arnold Schwarzenegger.
This question literally just answered itself.
Yeah.
Oh god.
At Monkey Gills asks, what series of events would have to happen for KBMOD to lose all of its fans? Probably we answer a question
about what male nipples should do.
Of male nipples.
Yeah.
And what would happen if Blah had a uterus? That is what would have to happen.
It was a good run. R.I.P. KBMOD.
We lose the very large female crowd that KBMOD obviously has.
Yeah, I mean, dude, our demographics are probably, I would say 90% female.
Yeah, it's close.
Big female community.
90, 89, I would guess.
I think if John just sold the KBMOD yacht to buy more Hearthstone packs.
Yeah, that would be it. We just use all the money to buy Hearthstone
Everybody would
packs.
get angry after that.
I mean, I didn't think we had any fans anyway. So
we don't. I set up a bunch of bots to watch the stream tonight. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I think.
Please don't force the gender on me. God damn it! Here we go.
Yeah, let's abolish all gender-specific pronouns. I would say, in order to lose all of our fans, I think Nick and Scott would both have to show up to 3 podcasts in a row.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. That's
Everybody
like saying,
just wouldn't be able to handle it.
No, it's fine.
like
That'll never happen.
Candyman in a mirror. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
If you say APL Fisher 3 times, he appears in the podcast.
Oh my God, I'm so scared. My boyfriend.
My boyfriend's cold in the aroma.
You open a Skype call and say Scott Fisher 3 times.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone who follows my channel is 90% troll accounts because you idiots keep making them. God damn it.
Well, that's what happens when you put a follow notification on your fucking stream. You just you facilitate it.
Fucking turn it off.
It's me too. That's the best part.
God. I tune in and suddenly have an urge to have a baby. Well, you're welcome, I think. I don't know.
That should settle some disputes in your current relationship. That seems to be the one thing every man and woman couple can't agree on is whether or not they'll have kids. Probably same-sex couples too, since adoption's an option. That rhymes.
Adoption's an option. All right, next question. At Connor3, do you think the trend of putification of games will have a negative impact on the gaming industry?
Putification.
Yeah.
Yes.
As in PewDiePie.
Yes.
I think
but
putification.
Putification, but you said putification.
Yeah, poo is better.
I thought we were talking about like a really immature word for shit.
Do I think it's a bad thing when you make a game specifically for Twitch? Probably not all the time, but
most of the time YouTube bait games are bad, but they're very few and far between. There's not that many. You can probably count them all.
There's going to be more and more, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, really, these days, what do you have? Goat Simulator, like that's one of the biggest ones,
right?
And Daylight now, like that. But that's it. I can't think of any.
There's another game in development which I'm blanking on right now, which is coming out.
Choice Chamber?
But no, not Choice Chamber. Choice Chamber actually is one of the best.
That actually makes
example.
sense. Choice Chamber is a very good example.
Because then you have your chat voting on content in the game, which is great. But there's God, I'm blanking. There's a game coming out in the fall that is yet another one of these. It's not a horror game either. Something else. But it's yet another one. Chat input, etc. And I think you'll just see it more and more and more. And I think there's going to be a lot more bad games.
Well, I mean, the problem is that the territory is new, especially when it comes to doing chat integration. Like, there's not much experience. It's like it started with Twitch Plays Pokemon, really, and then games are now trying to be developed for doing that. So it really just takes one to kind of set it in stone how the fuck you're supposed to do it right. I don't think it'll ever work for a horror game. There's no way that horror games are good unless they are specifically designed to scare you. Not when you have these algorithms that people can control through a chat input. It just doesn't work that way. It gets too spammy. People are always trying to throw one thing or the other at you, and they're all spamming that one thing.
Right.
How does that even work? Like, how do you get scared at that if everybody's just typing in, a fucking drawer shuts? Like, that's not fun. Horror games are definitely something that takes a lot more meticulous design behind them. I mean, there's something like Choice Chamber is a good example of someone trying to make a game that works for chat integration and might do pretty well at it. But I mean, that remains to be seen. It's still, pretty early.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's really early, like you said. It could be a bad thing overall. I think you'll get a lot of shit. Just get a lot of shit.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that many games compared to the amount of games that are being released on a daily basis. So I don't think that it'll matter. I think it more reflects on the developers than the gaming industry itself. The developers are just going to be making bad games that people don't want to play, and then they're going to suffer from that. So it's also a question of if it will last. Will anybody make one that actually is sustainable? So I don't know.
Yeah, I think people put a little bit too much stock in how much a bad game really affects them. If somebody creates a bad game, don't fucking play it. It's not that big a deal. Like, people who say so-and-so is ruining this genre or so-and-so is ruining, like, Let's Play. No, shut the fuck up. Just don't watch it. Don't play it.
There's always going to be bad games, and there's always going to be good games. That's just the way that it works.
Yeah. Look at the indie scene right now. There is a ton of fucking garbage that has come out of the indie scene right now. Look at Steam Greenlight. Follow Steam Greenlight Gold.
Steam Greenlight is the worst example.
It is horrible.
Well, it's going away for a reason.
So. Yeah, good. Yeah, and it's the best thing.
It is chock fucking full of some of the worst garbage you've ever seen in your life. And yet there's some amazing things that come out of it. And everybody ignores the shit and plays the good stuff. Things like Risk of Rain, Binding of Isaac. All those kinds of indie games that are actually good. Like, the fact that there are bad games released doesn't mean you have to play them. They're going to sell like shit. They'll die. Who cares?
Yep.
You don't even have to look at Greenlight. You can just look at the front page of Steam now, like the new release list, and go, oh, God. Why is all this crap on here?
Steam has really let itself go. It is coughing down those humongous child fucking point-and-click games and all of these mystery point-and-click games. It's just all point-and-click games. That's all it is old 90s point-and-click games on Steam.
It really fucking is. A ton of them. And a ton of them
It's fucking terrible. Like a game that's brand new that comes out on Steam is in the new release section for like 5 minutes tops, and then it's just gone to like page 3 because some fucking some publisher just starts throwing all of its garbage from 10 years ago onto the front page all at once.
Way too hyped about Pajama Sam.
Like Humongous Games has still got games that they're going to release on Steam. You know, like they had like 5 or 6 of their Putt Putt and Pajama Sam. They just did another recent influx of it the other day. They've still got more to do. They've still got more to release on Steam. Right. They've got like 100 games to release. It's fucking ridiculous.
This is not what Tim Schafer meant when he said he wanted point-and-click adventure games to come back. Not that we needed 5,000 of them that are all fucking terrible.
And the thing is, too, is like he just made a really good one.
Yeah,
Broken Age,
go play Broken
really
Age.
Just
It's
get
awesome.
that one. But last question here in this edition of the podcast. At Jordan Keelbon asks, if you could drink a liquid out of someone's skull, whose skull and what liquid would it be?
Is that like a Game of Thrones reference question?
It is. Yeah, it is.
Is it?
No spoilerinos.
There was a thing.
But
Spoilerino.
It's not really a spoiler.
It would
I mean,
be-
it's just someone drinking out of a skull. It's not a spoiler.
It would be
That's a
Blackliteattack
spoiler.
for continuing to say spoilerino. And I would drink
I mean, to
scotch
be
out
fair,
Scotch
Yeah,
out of
that's-
Blacklight's head. That sounds good. I
of
mean,
it. When I die, that's what I want to happen.
are
Then
you
when
like,
I
really
wanna
angry
drink-
scotch right now, or
I wish I was drinking scotch right now.
I want to drink a natty ice out of APL Fisher's skull.
Oh my god. Maybe it would make it taste better.
Probably.
It might. I mean, it's already pretty much soaked in Smirnoff ice.
I want to drink some. Gamma Labs out of Fwizz's skull.
Oh, that's a good one. Yes, that is a fantastic choice.
Like, I think it would taste a lot better out of esports itself.
That's
I would be
true.
eating out of esports embodied in a person.
I mean, what
you
would
mix
happen if
some-
you had Gamma Labs out of Dunkus's skull? I think that you would probably divide by 0 at that point.
Well, maybe you could drink FPS freaks out of Dunkus's skull.
I
All
would.
bought with promo code Dunkus.
I would drink communion wine out of Bryan Cranston's skull in an effort to gain his power.
Wow.
I really like Bryan
that is-
Cranston.
I just really
specific.
like Bryan Cranston.
I'm not even
wanna
saying
drink-
it because he's my enemy. I just I want to absorb his powers.
You don't want to drink communion wine. When I worked for Geek Squad, I did a job for a pastor, and he tipped me with 2 bottles of communion wine. They were fucking horrible, but I drank them anyway.
Yeah, it
God.
seems like for communion wine, they would get something that couldn't be more than 50 cents a bottle, and it's just somebody pissed in a bottle and gave it to you.
Yeah,
Hey, there's
not the
a
wine I would
$3
have
shotgun.
peanut
That's
butter.
really good, actually. There's
Drinking the tears of Goddess Kickstarter backers. Goddess out of Peter Molyneux's skull. I said Goddess. Oh. Captain Morgan
you know
out
what?
of Captain
If-
Sparkle's skull. Not a bad call.
If you fucking gave Peter Molyneux money, you deserve to be sad. Like,
yes, you do.
you just deserve to be sad at this point.
and
How
you
many
deserve
times
to have
is that guy
something
gonna lie to you before
drunk
you
out of your
understand?
skull.
I will say this is MKA 696. I want to drink Haterade out of T Martin's skull. I'm with you. What vintage of Haterade? God. I'll drink cough syrup out of Extras.
Oh, what a sad state of affairs he's in. I went back to his channel and watched a couple videos, and I just kind of sank in my chair a little bit.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Oh.
It's the worst thing. Oh,
He did pretty
man,
much throw it all away.
YouTube has produced some real horror stories.
Yeah,
Some
he's
real horror
definitely one of
stories.
them. Definitely one of them. You guys can go look that up on your own. T Martin was a good year for Haterade. A solid vintage. God damn. That was a
I'm trying to
low
think
blow
of
by me on
something-
Extras.
I'm trying to think of something to drink out of David Cage's skull, but I'm losing my references to his
Emotion.
video games now. Yeah,
Just
just
emotion
emotion
juice.
juice.
It's similar to crunk juice. by Lil Jon.
Very.
I would like to drink crunk juice out of Lil Jon's skull.
I would drink it out of Wheezy's skull.
Turn down for what?
Because I feel like Lil Wayne's skull is probably all weird shaped and shit.
It probably is, but I mean, you don't gotta bring it up.
What?
You don't gotta bring it up.
You know, all that codeine just makes it very malleable, and then he falls over and just changes the shape of his head all the time.
Yeah, man.
Very unique.
That's why his skull's available. He's not even dead. His skull is just missing.
It fell out.
It fell out from all the codeine.
Oh. All right. Well, that is it. On that note, on me low blowing X-Jaws, we'll leave on that note. Thanks for coming out to the podcast this week, guys. You can follow all of us on Twitter. Our Twitters are on the screen. Make sure you follow KBMOD at KBMOD Gaming on Twitter. Check out the website, kbmod.com. Forums, chat, all kinds of things. And we will be back next week, hopefully with Mr. Sark. But
hopefully.
We shall see. And we will see you guys for episode 140.
Oh, you spoiled the next number for Mark. God damn it.
God damn it!
Shit.
It was supposed to be a surprise.
I was supposed to take a test, and you just spoiled the test. Now I'm cheating.
I apologize, Mark. I'm
from
so
your online
sorry.
counting classes.
All right, guys. That's it. We'll see you next week. Later, bros.